sweetheart, it was orange. You graduate college, you get a little depressed, you start dabbling in blush. That's just how life goes. Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. That was super sweet of you. We're in a slightly different area today. I'm actually just really pushed back like 5 feet. Daylight savings time, I know it happens every year. I know I mention it every video and it's probably very annoying, but just know that it's like at the point where if I film over there, I have like 20 minutes of good lighting to work with. So we're trying something new today. I'm pulling you a little back. You're a little further into my apartment today. You can more clearly see all of my Bert artwork. Does it look like Bert? I don't know. You tell me. What do you think? Does it look like Bert? I think it's pretty good. I'm not like a professional artist or anything, but I do really like having a few beers and then attempting to paint portraits of Bert. But that's not what this video is about. You did not click on this video to find out why my background's a little different and how many beers it takes me to paint a beautiful portrait of Bert. No, you clicked on this video because you, like me, have an interest in my 2018 makeup favorites. I saw Lauren Mae Beauty do this video and I thought it was so fun. She commented on all of the makeup favorites she had, whether or not they had changed, whether or not she still had them, and I was like, oh my gosh, wait, I was on YouTube in 2018. I joined YouTube in October of 2018, so my favorites video for that year was only like my 6th video ever. Honestly, I don't really advise you to go watch the whole video. It's very cringy. I'm very clearly nervous. I was watching that video last night and I just wanted to grab my past self by the shoulders and be like, it's okay, there's no one in the room with you. You don't have to be so nervous. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Happy New Year. I hope you're having a great year so far. I hope this year brings you nothing but good health and good skin and lots of good things. It's cute, she's sweet, she's so much I could warn her about, you know? Ugh, God, she was not prepared for 2020, let me tell you that. But she did have a couple of good favorites that are still favorites. Most of her favorites suck, but you know what? I hadn't been into makeup for that long at that point. I was really just starting to, you know, get a vibe for things, and my favorites this year are gonna be way better, but we're not talking about those today. That's not what this video is about. Not what this video is about. This video is about my 2018 favorites. So if that sounds like a topic that is interesting to you and you want to see me react and comment on whether or not my 2018 makeup favorites are still makeup products that I like, then I encourage you to please subscribe and keep on watching. It's coming at you right now. Something nice about filming over here is that Bert sleeps on this little cat cube right next to me, so while I'm filming I can just lean back and I can give his little head a pat, and I'm sure that's probably very annoying for him, but it's very nice and wholesome for me. Alright, so let's talk about my first 2018 makeup favorite, which was Glossier Boy Brow. Oh my goodness, I can't believe I said this was a favorite, because I feel like even at the time I didn't like this all that much, but the thing was I didn't know anything better, and that you're gonna see a pattern for a lot of the things I'm gonna talk about today, is that these were products that I considered favorites just because I hadn't found any better versions of them yet, and I was just really excited to be playing with makeup. 2018 was the first full year I was like into makeup, because in 2017 I got into it like towards the end of the year. You know, you graduate college, you get a little depressed, you start dabbling in blush, that's just how life goes. But 2018 was the first full year I was like into makeup, and Boy Brow was fine. It's not the worst brow gel in the world. I mean, honestly, it might be. My issue with Boy Brow now, and also then, was that it just took out so much product. I didn't necessarily have an issue with the formula itself, but if you've ever tried Boy Brow before, you know that you have to wipe off like 90% of the product on the side of the tube, and even when you wipe off most of the product, you still end up getting like a way too much product in your brows. I feel like that product is suited for people who already have fluffy brows and are just like looking for a one and done product, which I did not and still do not have naturally fluffy brows. Honestly, my brows are a lot more grown in now than they were in 2018, so maybe Boy Brow would work better for me now, but we're still mad at Glossier, so I'm not gonna do that. And also, I found an incredible dupe. The e.l.f. Wow Brow Gel is a beautiful dupe for the Glossier Boy Brow, and I think it's a dupe that's even better. It's the same type of formula. It's a fiber brow gel, so it's gonna give you those little baby hairs in your brows, but but it doesn't pull out too much product. It pulls out the perfect amount of product. It's perfect. Such an easy thing, you would think. And also this one is $4 in comparison to $16. So for those of you that are good at math, you know that that is 75% off, right? Right? Editing me? Fact check that. Is that correct? But yeah, Glossier Boy Brow is no longer a favorite of mine and wasn't even really a favorite of mine at the time. But the poor dear, she didn't know any better. And now she knows better. And now she uses e.l.f. Wow Brow and she doesn't need Glossier Boy Brow any longer. All right, so the next product that was one of my 2018 makeup favorites was the Morphe x James Charles Unleash Your Inner Artist palette. Was there a 2018 makeup favorites video that didn't mention this palette? I feel like this was like the palette of 2018. Even though it only came out in like the second to last month of 2018, it was like the palette of 2018 because it was a colorful palette. And I feel like at the time there weren't a ton of palettes in the mainstream market that were as colorful as this. Emphasis on the mainstream market because indie brands have been doing beautiful, colorful palettes for years and years and years, but those of us who weren't as involved in the indie brand community at the time didn't know about it. Myself, I'm still just getting into makeup in the year 2018, right? So I'm only looking at like Sephora and Ulta. So when I saw this palette, I was like, ooh, this could be my opportunity to dive into color. Because up until this point, I was not a colorful lady. 2018 me and 2020 me, you wouldn't recognize us. I mean, you would. We still have brown curly hair and we look the same because we're the same person, but our makeup was very, very different. 2018 me used to wear exclusively neutral colors. She used to like sparkly eyeshadows, but she did not wear a lot of color at all. So this palette came out and I was like, this is my opportunity to change things around. We're reinventing ourselves. We're gonna become a colorful lady. And honestly, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to have gotten that when it came out because it definitely helped me delve into the world of color, made me feel a little more comfortable getting creative, but it's no longer a favorite of mine. I actually don't own the palette anymore. I deconstructed that palette. I do have some of the shades from it still in my little make your own palette, like this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, but I decluttered most of it because I just found that Morphe's formula is not the highest quality. I found so many more indie brands that are way better. I mean, my By Mellow Lops Radioactive palette is like a million times better formula-wise. Formula? Oh my god, who am I, my mother? But I do think it was a good starting point for me and I really liked the color story. I liked how many colors it gave me for options. You can even see in this video, I'll put a little screenshot here. I'm wearing the palette in this video. I was wearing yellow eyeshadow. That was like the first time I think I ever wore colorful eyeshadow on my channel. So I have a soft spot for this palette because it really helped me get into colorful eyeshadows. But as of today, as of 2020 me, I don't support Morphe anymore or want to give them any of my money. And I just think their formula is so overrated. It's very low quality for a not so low price. And I have so many more indie brand colorful palettes that I love now. So this is no longer a favorite, but thanks for the memories. Okay, some of these I can go through a little bit quicker than I did the first two. I talked a long time about the first two, but my third favorite was the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Flux With You. The shade Flux With You was kind of like a goldy, bronzy shade. I don't have it anymore. It just dried out. That's the only reason I don't have it anymore. Honestly, I still think it's a very beautiful shade, although I don't wear neutral bronzes as much anymore, so I don't think I would repurchase this particular shade, but I do still love the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow formula. Do I think it dries out a little too quick for my liking? Yes, but do I also let them go for like 2 years? Also yes, and do I also not put the caps on as tight as they should? Of course, everything is my fault. I don't have this shade anymore only because it dried out. I still love the Colourpop Super Shock formula though, so I guess this is kind of a consistent favorite. Yeah, okay, we have our first winner. I still love the Colourpop Super Shock Shadow formula. I just probably wouldn't buy this shade anymore, so great. Alrighty, the next product we're gonna talk about is the e.l.f. Precision Liquid Liner. I'm not positive if that's the name, I always get it wrong. It's this guy right here. This was a favorite of mine in 2018. You don't have to say that, they know it. That's the title of the video, you've already explained. I used to wear a winged eyeliner every single day in 2018. A look was not complete for me until I did my signature black sharp wing. And I still like that look, but I definitely don't wear eyeliner in that way anymore or in that formula. formula anymore. If you're not new to my channel, you know I'm a water activated lady. Just add water to activate me and my water activated liners. That's just my preferred formula now. I think it's much easier to work with. I'm able to layer it up more without having it crack. This e.l.f. one was pretty good. You could layer it up a good amount, but obviously if you did too many, it would start to crackle and crumble off on your face, which is not great. And I don't have that issue as much with water activated liners. Also, I'm much more into graphic liner now than I was then. I don't think I'd even tried graphic liner at this point. Ugh, the poor dear. She didn't even know it was coming for her with the wonderful world of graphic liner. But yeah, I like water activated liners more now, but I do still think this is the best liquid liner at the drugstore. If you were looking for a good liquid liner at the drugstore and you have hooded eyes, even if you don't have hooded eyes, you can still get it, but if you have hooded eyes, this is a paintbrush tip and it's gonna glide over that fold in your eyes beautifully, beautifully. You'll never go back to felt tip liners after you use a paintbrush tip like this. And I actually still have the brush from this. I like to use the brush every once in a while. I just rinse the product off and it's a really nice paintbrush tip. If you're looking for a cheap graphic liner brush, that's a good one for you that you can get right at the drugstore. This is only like $2. I still think this is a great accessible option, and this is an example of my preference changing and not me necessarily finding something better, because I don't know if water activated liners are necessarily better than this, like as a whole, but they are for me. Like they're for my needs, for what I do with eyeliner now. Water activated liner works better for me. Wow, I've been rambling about this one for a while. I thought this one was gonna be a quick one and done, but yeah, this is no longer a favorite of mine, but I think it could be a favorite of somebody's. Oh wow, look at me. I listed 2 mascaras as my favorite. Ugh, who is she? You know what's funny about these 2 mascaras though, is that I have found a cheaper mascara that I like better than both of these. So the mascaras I mentioned in my favorites for 2018 was the IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara and the Kokie Cosmetics Volumizing and Lengthening Mascara. I think that's what it was called. These 2 guys right here, they're actually incredibly similar, and I made a point to compare them in this video because the Kokie one is a drugstore mascara. It's much cheaper. I think it's like $7 or $8 full price, and the IT Cosmetics one is very expensive. I think it's like $24. I got it in an Ipsy bag because at the time I was still getting Ipsy, so I got the opportunity to try it. But I do think if you like the IT Cosmetics mascara, I still stand by the Kokie one being a good dupe. However, the Essence mascara blows both of these guys out of the water. Ugh, I told myself I wasn't gonna give away my favorites. That's the last one I'm giving away. But I'm just saying these are both more expensive than the one I have now and love, which is the Essence Lash Princess mascara. And yeah, no, they're both no longer favorites. The Kokie one was actually weird because that one I thought was gonna be a favorite of mine for a long time. And then one day I asked my boyfriend to grab it for me on his way home from work because I had just run out and I just needed it. I needed it right now. And I tried it and it was like the formula changed. Like it suddenly just wasn't good anymore. I don't know, maybe he opened it up and put some poison inside. Why would he do that? That wouldn't make sense. But it's like the formula just turned on a dime and it wasn't good anymore. So that's why I stopped using that one. The IT Cosmetics one I still think is great. It's just too expensive. I just don't ever see a need to spend an obscene amount of money on mascara. You go through it so quickly. Even if you don't, you really should, for bacteria growing reasons, replace your mascara every 3 or so months. And I'm not willing to spend $24 every couple months on mascara. $24 is what I reserve to spend on things that last a long time, like eyeshadow, blush, bronzer. Not that I've ever spent that much on blush or bronzer. I'd rather reserve my high ticket items for items that last longer and not things like mascara. That's just silly. And I stick with my Essence Lash Princess now. And yeah, that's pretty much that on that. So my next favorite was the Glossier Stretch Concealer. I still like the Glossier Stretch Concealer a lot. I don't have it currently, and that's strictly just because of price. I think it's too expensive for what it is, and I found other products that just work better than for me, that are cheaper. I'm not gonna talk about them because I keep giving away all my 2020 favorites. If you go watch my Glossier dupes that you already own video, then you can see what I've done to replace that. But the Glossier Stretch Concealer is nice. It's super emollient. It's a dry skin gal's dream, and I am a dry skinned gal. So I did like it a lot at the time. You know, it was my first real dive into cream products, so that was really fun. I feel like it definitely opened some doors for me. I've discovered cream products I like better now, but I appreciate that it was a stepping stone on my journey to loving cream products. But yeah, this is no longer a favorite of mine just because it's expensive, and like I mentioned earlier, we're mad at Glossier. If you don't know why, I'm gonna link Out of the Glosses Instagram down below. Basically what happened was Glossier laid off a bunch of their employees due to the pandemic and had some not so great business practices beforehand and keeping their stores sanitary and clean for their employees and treating them respectfully and everything. So I'll link that down below and you can get more information because I'm definitely not the most informed on that, but I'm not currently purchasing Glossier products for that reason, and also just because this is too dang expensive and there's cheaper dupes available. So why would you buy something more expensive when there is a cheaper option? That doesn't make sense. Oh wow, cool. The next one's another brand I don't really support anymore. It's the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Here's the deal. This never looked good on me, and I knew it at the time, but this was like the first bronzer that I ever purchased and was my dive into bronzer. And you'll notice a pattern with a lot of these products is it was like the first product that opened a new door of opportunity, opened a door to a new category of makeup for me, which is why at the time it was a favorite, even though it was really just like, ooh, I wear bronzer now. You guys, this is so exciting. I wear bronzer now. I should have just said that in the video. But I called the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer a favorite. Like I said, it pulled orange on me. I have so many pictures of me from 2018 where I just have like orange cheeks, and not in a cute orange blush moment way. Like this is a bad bronzer on me. It's definitely not the best drugstore bronzer by any means, and Physicians Formula just does not cater to a wide range of skin tones, and that's not something I want to support on my channel. So I don't really mess around with Physicians Formula so much anymore. If you missed my anti-haul video, they came out with a despicable face palette this year. They came out with an all-inclusive face palette that's supposed to be for everybody. They only came out with one shade, and who do you think this was aimed at? Like, come on, this is ridiculous. So we don't really mess around with Physicians Formula anymore for that reason. And this butter bronzer, sweetheart, it was orange. It never looked good on you, but that's okay. You do you. You're on your journey. You'll find better bronzers. Don't you worry. You'll definitely find better bronzers, but this was not it. Okay, this next product I'm very excited for because it's the one singular product that I still have. Look at her. It's the Covergirl True Blend Molten Blush in the shade Molten Rose. It's not called a Molten blush. I just added the word molten in there because I think it's interesting and it makes me think of volcanoes. But yeah, this, I'm actually really bummed because I went to look and see if I could buy another one of these, or I was looking to link it on a video or something, and I don't even know if they make this anymore. So I'll probably never get rid of it because I love this blush. I'm wearing it today. Look at how cute. It's a nice kind of more cool toned blush. I mean, it's rosy. It has a bit of a sheen to it, but it's so beautiful because it's not a shimmery blush. It's not a Milani Luminoso by any means, but it just has enough shimmer to not make it look flat. It's really nice. And this was my first blush I ever purchased for myself. It's the first blush I ever tried, and I feel like this was such a good gateway blush for me because it's not too pigmented to the point where I didn't feel too overwhelmed by it. I mean, I layered it up a little more today because now I like a heavy blush, but at the time I was like, I don't want to like look like I'm wearing blush. I just want to look like naturally fleshed and cute and oh. And yeah, it's not really my thing anymore. I like to look like I'm wearing a lot of blush all the time. This is still a great blush though. I mean, obviously I'm wearing it today. I reach for it all the time. What is the shelf life on this? I cannot find it, and therefore I'm going to assume the shelf life is forever because that's how long I want to keep this because I still really like it. You can still buy this on Walmart. I just don't think they have this shade, Molten Rose, but they do have other shades. I might go back and grab another one because I do really like this formula. And like I said, this is the one favorite that I still own, and I do still consider one of my favorite blushes. I actually mentioned it in my favorite blushes video that I posted not too long ago, so go check that video out. But this is still a great blush, and good job 2018 me. You found a winner. 2020 me approves. Okay, two more favorites to go through, and they're both from Colourpop. So the first one is their Gimme More highlighter palette. as pictured here. This formula is objectively bad. I don't know why I liked it. Here's the deal. I bought this because Miss Kathleen Lights said that this was like a fantastic highlight and it looked beautiful on her, but on me, it made my skin look super textured, which at the time of this video, I was very into like just a very beaming highlight. I didn't care so much about it looking flattering on my skin, even though my skincare routine at this time was like severely lacking any sort of exfoliant, so I was probably even more flaky then. Oh my gosh. But yeah, this highlighter did not look good on me, but I liked how beaming it was. I liked how reflective it was on my cheeks. I don't know, I keep looking at my cheeks now as if that's what I'm wearing. I'm not. I'm wearing the Midas Cosmetics highlight from the Dawn palette that Neon MUA worked on. But the Colourpop powder highlight is just one that I outgrew. I eventually realized that it was really drawing attention to texture on my skin. It was making my skin look more textured than it was. This is not a dry skin friendly formula, and I don't even think they promote this palette anymore. I don't even know if you can buy it anymore. So hopefully Colourpop figured that out too, because this was not it. There are powder formulas that work. This was not one of them. Okay, and the last item on my 2018 favorites was the Colourpop Luxe lipstick in the shade What's Your Sign, which was done in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. Now, I actually bought this shade before I was even into watching Kathleen Lights. I just want to put that out there. This was not a purchase that I made because of Kathleen Lights. This is a purchase that I made because I saw how good of a nude it looked like on Kathleen Lights, and I thought it could be a good nude on me too. And here's the deal. Big props to Kathleen Lights for that shade, because I still think this is a great shade, but the formula of the Colourpop Cream Luxe lipsticks, emphasis on the cream Luxe lipstick formula, is not a good formula to me. I feel like I've mentioned in like my last many videos that I love the Colourpop Luxe Velvet lipstick formula, which did not exist in the year 2018. So no hate to my 2018 self, because this is a product that didn't even exist. So I got the cream formula because that's what existed, and this color was good, but the application of this product was just kind of slimy. I don't even know how to describe it. It just would kind of slip and slide around my lips a lot. I would get that gross like butthole lip thing where you see the line, and it just didn't wear great throughout the day. So I think I was just excited to have a nude bullet lipstick, and it was a good color on me. I will give 2018 me that. It was a good nude color on me, but it just was the formula. Formula's a no for me, unfortunately. And like I said, they've come out with the Velvet Luxe lipstick formula now, which is just so far superior. I will never purchase the cream again. I will only purchase the Velvet. So if I ever find that shade in the Velvet, she might be mine. She might be mine if they ever make that shade in the Velvet, because that is a good shade. I will give you that. It's a good shade, but no longer a favorite. All right, and with that, we have reached the end of the video. Those were all of my 2018 makeup favorites. Oh my gosh, it feels like so long ago. It was only 2 years ago. It's just so wild to think about how different the world is, and also how different my makeup preferences are. I've only been like into makeup seriously for a couple of years, and my tastes have changed so much. I mean, even aside from, you know, trends change, makeup companies change what they're releasing, they adapt to the trends and everything, but more than that, I've just found that my preferences have changed. Not even so much like, oh, this product isn't in style anymore, because clearly I was into colorful eyeshadow then, and I'm into colorful eyeshadow now. But my preferences for formulas have changed. I've had the opportunity to try a lot more formulas and really learn what I like. That's the thing with a lot of these products talked about in my 2018 favorites video. These makeup categories were new to me, not even just the products being new, like the concept of wearing blush, wearing bronzer, wearing colorful eyeshadow. Those were all new things to me. So I hadn't learned what my preferences for those formulas were yet. I just knew that I liked those products and I enjoyed wearing them, and that's fine. No hate to 2018 me. I like that I'm talking about her like she's gonna come back to me and get her feelings hurt. But yeah, I'm so glad that I found better products for me now, and I'm sure maybe in 2022 I'll be reacting to this video and I'll be like, ugh, that idiot over there was using the Essence Lash Princess mascara. What a goof. 2022 me, if you're watching this, what's up? How are you? Is the pandemic over? I really hope so. It's horrible. Thank you guys so much for watching until the end of the video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I post new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And during December, I think I'm gonna start posting bonus videos. I don't know what day of the week. Let me know what day of the week you wanna see a bonus video for me, but I wanted to do Vlogmas, but honestly, I don't vlog, and also posting a video every single day is just not feasible for me. There's construction that happens downstairs. The lighting is horrible. It's hard for me to get one video filmed in a day, you know? But yeah, let me know what day you want to see my bonus video on. Also, please check out my description box for all of the products I mentioned today in case you want to look at them for some reason. I don't know, no judgment. Also, everything I'm wearing on my face today will be listed down below, as well as a ton of Black Lives Matter resources. I'm gonna have petitions to sign, places to donate, and ways to help protesters, so please click on those links if you have the time. And I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!